It's Courtney, and as you can see, I kind of have a cold right now, and I'm coughing and don't sound as great as I usually do, but we're gonna push through it, and I'm gonna do a review of a book. This will be the first book in my series of reviews I'm doing. I'll try to do one every week. Maybe. Depends on if I have time to read a book. But the book I'm gonna do is The Fault in Our Stars. And let me tell you, I am so glad I read the book before I watched the movie because it was amazing. It just, how do you explain it? We bought it when we were down in Cornwall on our trip, and I picked it up not really thinking that we'd read it because we wouldn't have time, but then it became apparent that we had a lot of time in the car, so I talked to my partner and we decided that I was going to read it out loud as we traveled. And it took us on a very emotional journey. And it, made us realize a lot of things about our relationship, which I didn't expect to happen, but that's what books do to you. They make you think. So, it starts out really great. The drag you in part is, so good, and I love that it's from Hazel's perspective and how she sees the world and how things happen to her, and she understands it, and she tries to get through it. And her outlook on life is so much like mine. She's like my clone. She reminds me so much of me. The way she thinks about things and talks about things, and I think that's where I fell in love, was how there is somebody else out there like me. But the book takes you on a really emotional journey, and you try to not cry, and it makes you cry. And the characters, you get so attached to them as well, because it's just that, it just takes you over. And like I said, we read it while we were in the car, so I was crying as we were going down the road, because my partner decided that he liked audiobooks, and so I thought, well, I could read it out loud, and it would be a cool experience for both of us, and it really turned out to be a really awesome experience. It's something we can share the memories of for a really long time. I will say the ending was kind of rushed. Is rushed the word I'm looking for? The way it ended, I wasn't really too happy about after having to endure this roller coaster of a book. But I wish there would have been more at the end, but I think because it was kind of a book in a book, the author chose to end it the way he did. Maybe there'll be a second one. I don't know. But all in all, it's a really great book, and I really think you should pick it up and read it before you watch the movie. If you've seen the movie first, you screwed yourself, because this is better. I will also say that a lot of stuff happens really fast, and you're just kind of wondering why it happened that fast, where if I would have been the author, I think I kind of would have drug it out a little more. And you feel like it kind of skips over stuff because it is from Hazel's point of view, so a lot of the time the other characters their actions aren't described. There's an altercation she has with somebody, and there's 4 other characters in the story there, or 3 or 2 or something. And, the boyfriend is there, and you don't know what he's doing while this altercation is happening, so you kind of just what is happening right now? But, because you'd think he would have reacted, and she would have, noticed him reacting or something, and then it doesn't happen, and you're like, okay, well. So I think I could have used a lot more, description that way, but I'm a writer myself, so I get really critiquey on books. Other than that, I think it's a really good book. There's not a lot of problems with it, and I think you'll enjoy it. So I'm going to give this book a 4.5 out of 5. And I hope you pick it up.